Alright, looks like I'm live. So, everybody, welcome to the greatest game ever made, Cyberia.
Please enter identification.
Alright, haven't had too much luck entering the file names based on the marathon names the last couple times we've done this, but we'll see.
Overkill.
Oh, it's a perfect fit. And they say size doesn't matter.
Select
Anyway,
arcade level.
For the run we're going to be using arcade difficulty 1,
Select
just because it makes the run a bit safer and less likely to die to randomness in the first shooting sequence. And then puzzle difficulty 2, because those are the puzzle solutions I have memorized, and the game also doesn't let you put both on easy. So, I guess we'll start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Cyberia.
Hey, Zach, how's the ride?
Sporty. And how about telling me what's up?
Always to the point, my man. All right, here's the sitch. You'll rendezvous with the rig in about 10 minutes. Your contact is Santos. There's a TF-22 prepped and ready.
I've never flown a TF-22.
Not to worry, you won't be flying this one. The auto-nav is set to take you by optimum route to the Cyberia complex.
Trust is a wonderful thing.
I got you out of solitary, didn't I? Can't have you jetting around the globe instead of getting the job done, my man.
Just what is the job, Devlin?
Well, like I said, always to the point. All right, stand by. I'm going to shoot you some currents on the Cyberia project.
I still don't have top security clearance, but one of the science officers has started to tell me some things. They're making incredible advances in nanotechnology. I'm not sure if I managed to get the camera into one of the labs today, and then something very secret. All I could make out was a message about the project, learning to talk. The director went down to see for himself in his pajamas. He spent the next 2 days on the vid phone to Switzerland. It was getting really hot. I know the assistant suspects me, but I'm not really much in today. Security very tight. One of the technicians was injured yesterday. Nobody will say I had copies of some internal email messages. Might be useful. I guess 4 workers fell ill. 1 died. They were constructing an isolation chamber on level 2. Message about the mission. I'll be gone by 0400 hours the day before. Don't let the team show up early.
Damn.
Hey, I knew that would grab your attention. So that's it. Infiltrate the complex and find the Cyberia weapon.
What do I do with it once I find it?
Well, I don't know. Keep it company. There's a cleanup team 24 hours behind you. All right, kid? Gotta run. Catch you later.
Alright, so here we are, headed for the oil rig. Like I said, I'm here to pick up a fighter jet called the TF-22 from a guy named Santos. But, this is all unique deaths, so why don't I go ahead and get to the dying?
This is Santos. Report to my office immediately. Take the door on the right and don't wander around.
Hey, a barrel. Well, that's weird. Oh no. That's no good. I'm not going that way again.
Take the door on the right and don't wander around.
Oh, hey, I wonder what's this way. Wow, that looked like it hurt. Can we do it again? Oh, that's not good.
This is Santos. Report to my office immediately. Take the door on the right and don't wander around.
The door on the right? I don't want to take the door on the right. I'm going to take the door on the left. Ooh, hangar. That sounds fun. Hello. Alright. Maybe I should take the door on the right.
This is Santos. Report to my office immediately. Take the door on the right and don't wander around.
Alright, alright. I haven't died again yet. It's kind of been a while since I've died, though. There we go.
Turn around nice and slow and disarm the weapon.
Is this how you greet all your new arrivals?
Only if they have a weapon.
Gia, quit screwing around and bring him to my office.
Come on. I'll take you to see Santos. We're under attack. Come on, follow me.
There's no change in the facial expression there. Alright. Not gonna be dying again for a little while. So now I get to do this first shooting sequence, which is a timed sequence, though it's just survival. And this section by itself is one of the biggest reasons why I have the arcade difficulty set on easy. Because in this one in particular, I have to use the arrow keys to aim, because for whatever reason this is the only sequence like this that doesn't have mouse control. And the number of enemies that spawn, and where they spawn, and when they spawn are all completely random. So on anything other than the easiest difficulty, you can get unlucky here and just instantly die. And then you'd have to start this whole thing over from the beginning, and it's just awful.
Magnetic mine!
That being said, I can also get sections that are like 30 seconds long where there's just nothing. Kind of like this. It's peaceful. Relaxing.
Look out! Magnetic mine! Good shot.
There's not really a whole lot to this part. I just kind of, whenever I'm not shooting something, I try to just keep myself aimed generally in the middle somewhere. That way I can just be ready to aim whichever direction I need to.
Good shot.
Hey, thanks.
Watch it! Magnetic mine!
Well, the way that I know which direction an enemy is spawning is from that radar on the bottom left, which isn't very good because, you know, it doesn't really tell me how high up any of them are. So some of them can spawn really high up in the air, and some of them can spawn really low, and there's just no good way for me to know that from the radar.
Good shot. Watch it!
Alright, there's not too much more of this left, less than a minute.
Good shot.
Also, the hit detection isn't the best.
Fighters coming in. Nice kill.
I can see it there. I could see it on the radar, but couldn't actually see it anywhere on the screen, because it spawned above where I was looking.
Magnetic mines! Watch it! Magnetic mine! Good shot.
Okay, about another 15 seconds or so. There we go.
That was amazing. Kiss me.
So in all unique deaths, we even get to kiss the girl. 90% we would skip it, but not in all unique deaths. That's Santos. He's a little upset. Apparently this is his girlfriend. We don't know that. The game doesn't really tell you, but she is.
No, he's still... Ah, you're awake. No use struggling. You're
So
not
this
going
death right
anywhere.
here is the whole reason that we have to
Maybe
kiss
we
Gia.
can talk about why we were attacked.
Alright. Lesson learned. Don't kiss girls. It's a bad idea.
No, I don't think so.
Now I reload this checkpoint, and I refuse.
All right, we're getting out of here. Take the lift to the hangar and prepare to take off immediately.
Oh, now I can go to the hangar. So, I just get to head on back over there. Just casual stroll. Not gonna slip on the oil, not gonna stick my hand in the acid. I don't get to do any of the fun things. Oh,
Come on, let's go.
thank you. Yeah, he doesn't care that I'm here now. And now we found the plane. And you'd think we could just leave. Not quite. You know, it's been a little while since I've died. Wonder what's over here. Oh, he hit everything on the way down. That's unfortunate. Menus, please. Alright, so this plane actually has a bomb on it. Because even though I've done everything right, there's just a bomb on the plane stopping me from taking it anyway. Alright, so this time I actually have to defuse the bomb. It is a super difficult puzzle, and we solved it. And now we can leave on the plane. Now we get another delightful cutscene.
Still alive?
Just how hot is this thing?
The cartel wants it pretty bad. They know we have the Cyberia files, but I thought that if I sent you in alone, we could avoid all of this crap.
Yeah? Well, it looks like they're laying out the welcome mat.
Indeed. Tech scan shows a lot of cartel activity on your route to the complex. Your onboard fire control system should be able to handle it.
Machine faith, Devlin?
Trust is a wonderful thing, remember?
Right.
Alright, so this next section here is entirely an auto-scroller, and there's absolutely nothing I can do to speed it up other than not die. So there's not a whole lot of commentary to make during this part, so what I've got is a little dramatic reading from the game's manual. So I hope you all enjoy, and I will see you when it's done. May 17th, 2027. Start from the beginning. That's the hard way. It's always easier to start from the end and back up. Retreat. That's the easy way. But I don't do things the easy way, so I won't tell the story the easy way. The beginning was about 2010, maybe earlier, I don't remember. I was born, and some people say they remember being born, but I don't. I was brought up, and I should remember more of that than I do now, never mind why. Maybe I could explain, maybe later I will. There were apartments, schools, houses, people who called themselves aunts and uncles, people who didn't. There were people who might have been a family. They're the hardest to remember. Some years back, couldn't be too many. How old am I, after all? I'm probably still a teenager, what they said in the old video cassettes. Anyway, my memory starts to burn about then, scooting through dark alleys into abandoned basements. I can remember from then on. Probably be better if I remembered the first part, forgot the later years. Not my choice, though. None of it is anything anyone would be glad to remember. I've done old video cassettes, even seen some library books. I'd be very glad for some of those memories. The lemonade under the shade trees, the ruby sunsets. So glad to see red in the west like rubies and not like blood. Nothing's glad anymore. But I need to get back to my story. We were in the basements, crawling the wires, grabbing tubes and boxes, hooking wires to boards, boards to wires, things to things. Some of us knew some things, others knew other things. Grab a bill of lading from Taipei to San Francisco. Grab a purchase order from Houston to San Francisco. Land out with a wild shipment to our neighborhood. I got my blades that way. Grabbing things and landing them out. Grabbing the third world and the first world. What were we? Maybe the sixth world? It worked for us. We were glad. Worlds 1 through 5 or however many hadn't worked out for us. We hadn't worked out for them. Finally we had a world that worked. World 6 worked for years. Maybe 3, 4. We got what we wanted. Got most of what we needed. Didn't hurt anybody who couldn't take the hurt easy. We were sitting on top of the world, like the old songs say. Strange you think about it. I don't remember anybody else doing old songs, library books, only me. Of course, Caro did wall hanging things, like frozen videos, called them oil paintings. You couldn't see any oil in them, so maybe that was like me in the songs and the books. Then there was Arla. She did old music that didn't have songs in it. Zach, she said, you don't always have to sing along. You can let it go by itself. And we were all sitting on top of the world. Except we weren't on the top. We were on the bottom, in the abandoned basements with the junction boxes, and we were shiny and glad. But the other worlds were big and mean, and the glad didn't last. I miss Arla. I hope she wasn't wrong. I guess I'll never know. May 18th, 2027. I looked over the words I cut last night, and I said, Zach, you're not blindingly cohesive. Not hard to understand. 2 days in the Pentagon, nothing to grab. Wake up, eat. Walk the corridors clockwise, eat. Sleep, or don't. Well, you can't sleep, there's the net to cut words into. First night, I wanted to break the net box. I wanted to break it all, but cooler heads prevailed. Cooler heads prevailed. Where did I hear that? Some 20th century video cassette, probably. There weren't any heads but my own, and that one wasn't so cool. But I must have had enough sense not to break the place I was going to spend the rest of my life. My life. I cut the words last night, and they're cut and burned. I can't get them back. So I'm cutting words for the ages, or at least for the FWA, the Free World Alliance, a name that might be made more accurate. I'll try to make what I say understandable to young and old. Young and old. Where did that come from? Burt Lancaster and Gina Lola? Are there any circuses anymore? Not in the corridors of the Pentagon. But I'm cutting words. They used to call it writing for the ages. Maybe just for William Devlin, Mr. Devlin, sir, but I pretend the words will last. The story goes pervasive. Century 21 meets Winnie the Pooh. Not Mr. Toad, of course. Mr. Devlin, perish forbid, oh no. Zack, your tame six-worlder is completely, absolutely, indubitably under your control. Nothing will break. Everything will be glad again. You know none of this can leak back to the sixth world. Maybe seventh by now. But you wouldn't let me cut the words. They're for the ages. May 19th, 2027. Woke up early this morning. Signed on. Looked at the words I cut last night and the night before. What's happening to me? Try cutting some words before breakfast. Might have a half an hour. My theory. I feel fine. Never better. The problem's there. I could do push-ups with my left hand while I'm cutting words with my right. Not likely for a net felon locked in the Pentagon to feel so good. I think bizarro. I'm okay now, but the words I cut the last 2 nights were clearly not cool-headed, not clear-headed. Conclusion. Dope. Kindly Mr. Devlin and the FWA are building my body and breaking my brain. Steroids, hallucinogenics, wish I knew. Old Caro could tell. Caro. Caro would have the sense to say, Zack, you cut your nice theory flat into the net. For half an hour, you couldn't unhook your fingers from the part of your brain you found in the morning light. Right, Caro. You're right. Erase today. Breakfast's coming. May 20th, 2027. Nothing tonight, or last night. Waiting for more cooler heads to show up. Then maybe we can all prevail. Like a tree that stands before the water. Where's Caro? Where's Arla? Daddy said a friend's better than a password. Hard to believe Daddy was right, even one time. But he held some good songs, all those big black vinyl discs. Stone cold dead in the market. Daddy hit the streets, the market, the bricks, the riot cops. I hit the tunnels, the basements, the cables. Daddy, I still hold the songs. Delia's gone. One more round. Arlo's gone. It's dope, yeah. It must be dope. But I miss the people. I miss Daddy. He's dead. I miss Caro and Arla. They're probably dead too, but that won't keep me from missing them. And I miss my blades. Maybe more than the people. And that's a bizarro thought. But I miss my blades. May 24th, 2027. Sitting down here in Pentagon Farm. No cooler heads here yet. Getting ready to break things here, boss. Only glad thing is I can still cut words. No, they can't take that away from me. But they could, and I don't know why they don't. What does Mr. Devlin have me fear for? What do they want me to do? You got me doing what you wanna, baby. Baby, what you want me to do. And now, a word from our sponsor. Welcome aboard! If this is your first trip aboard the FWA DLM Model TF22, please take the time to read this card and make yourself familiar with the craft. If not, please refresh your memory. After all, very few people make a trip like this every day. Before reading further, your seat harness and protective helmet should be in place and secure. The TF-22 craft is the pinnacle of FWA tactical air power. She clears the sky and gets where she needs to go. As a valued passenger, your destination is her destination. The TF-22 is fully cyber-driven. From takeoff to landing, through climate control and cabin lighting to food service and beverage delivery, every detail has been foreseen by top FWA aero experts. On normal cargo missions, the TF-22 has achieved an exceptional 92% success rate over the past 3 years. Even more effort is expended on passenger missions such as yours. Arrival at your destination may require military activity. Please remain seated until the marked exit doors open. Please examine the diagrams to ascertain your position relative to the features of the craft. Further information, advice, and instructions will appear on your seat screen or blades if you are so equipped when the flight plan is established and the trip is underway. Sit back, relax, and have a pleasant trip. From the Washington Post-American, 21st of August 2018, The Strange Story of Blades. The bioptic, low-amplitude displayed energy system device, one of the first successful nanotechnological applications, is something to wonder at and something to wonder about. Blades look like warp-around sunglasses, and for most people, that's all they would be. Not the first step into an unimaginable future, but just a high-tech set of sunglasses, sturdy enough to protect against an errant elbow. Remember Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's goggles? For some people, wearing a high-tech look-at-me pair of armored sunshades is worth several $1,000s. For most of us, we'll settle for over-the-counter, non-prescription shades from the local discount mart and wonder how Blade Co. stays in business. Just barely. Blade Co., the pioneer of commercial nanotechnology, bet its fortune, the capital of its closely held stockholders, on Blades. Nobody is working on Blades 2, the remaining employees are busy on the next product, and the powers that be at Blade Co. won't talk about the new project. One of those powers, however, told your Post-American reporter about Blades. He was wearing his own blades, and I could tell that they did more than keep the glare out of his eyes. Blades were the first nanotech product on the market. What went wrong?
Nothing went wrong. Would you care to rephrase your question?
Were Blades the success you had hoped for?
How many new companies have ever had the success they hoped for? You could probably name 2. If you're smarter than you look, you might name 5. Blade Co. is making it. We're still successful, and we have great hopes for the future.
Which we can't talk about now, of course. We're still interested in Blades. What can you see through them?
More than most people, I admit. Our test audience was skewed. We're going to do better. But everybody in-house could use the Blades, some of us very well, and we frankly disregarded the possibility that the mass of humanity would see Blades as no more than decoration or sunscreen.
Tell me more about what you can use Blades for.
Infrared, of course. Anyone who can push a button and turn on a dial can see in the dark. It's just sunglasses turned upside down or backwards, you understand. It turns the dark to light, and the light to dark. It takes some getting used to, but anyone can do it. And there's communication. The Blades can receive transmissions, like a fax or modem.
What else?
Well, now we start getting into the nanotech features. You can flip the Blades into bioscan mode, which detects living organisms. I can anyway, but probably you can't, unless you're a Blades user. Are you?
No.
Well, that's the thing. It takes time and practice to get used to the Blades, and it takes the Blades time to get used to you. Most people don't have the patience, and a lot of people just don't have the talent. It's kind of like a K-9 officer and a dog learning to work together.
Blades can sniff out drugs?
Maybe. That brings us to the final mode of the Blades, the info scan mode. It doesn't work at all for many people, for many more than we expected. For the people it does work for, it's always different. Some can ID chairs, doorknobs, things they wouldn't need Blades for. Others, the ones with the talent and dedication, can ID every part of a complicated machine, or, as you say, get a chemical analysis of a medicine cabinet, once they and their Blades have learned to work together.
And this is the story of Blades. Designed to be an indispensable part of mankind's everyday existence, Blades turned out to have a market of only the very few with the talent, skill, and dedication to make them work. After all, how many people are K-9 officers?
Approaching refueling area.
Alright, looks like that's done a little bit earlier than I planned on. Unfortunately, the first sequence of this, the very last enemy, is an automatic death if you don't kill it. So, kind of my bad for reading chat during that part. Yeah, a lot of these sections, if you see an enemy highlighted blue, they're ones that I'm not supposed to kill because they're technically allies. In the tunnel sequence, the blue ones actually explode if I shoot them, and that would have also been an instant death, because there are fuel trucks inside of a little enclosed tunnel. But now this is the last part of Autoscroller for a while.
Hostile targets approaching.
So these sections are also the reason that I put the arcade difficulty on easy, because you can see in the upper right here that meter is my health. And even on easy, if I miss one or two enemies for more than a few seconds, I just about die. And that would be a whole lot worse on any other difficulty.
Weapons control interference. Clearing. Entering hover mode.
Yeah, it's just kind of a thing with this game's design. Like, it's not bad enough that you can kind of just die really, really fast for missing a couple of things. They also have to throw in a few enemies that you just instantly die if you don't kill them. But that's the last one. That's the end of this auto-scroller.
Area secure.
Now we get another nice little cutscene.
We've been monitoring your progress. Pretty impressive, Zach. Sorry about the weapons glitch.
Target practice.
Yeah. Here's the sitch. Recon shows that cartel forces haven't been able to penetrate to the Cyberia weapons level yet. In fact, it appears from some of the transmissions we've intercepted that they've lost quite a few of their operatives.
Lost? How?
That's not clear, but it looks like there's some kind of infection or contamination in the complex.
Great.
Make sure you've got protection.
I'm going to kill that bastard.
Alright, so the next death that I need to get is one where I freeze to death out here. And if anybody remembers, the last time I ran this category for this marathon, it took forever and it was boring. Luckily, I spent a little time looking into exactly how to trigger this death, and I found a way to do it consistently. And even better than that is that I get to walk around and grab a couple of checkpoints while I'm doing it, so that'll speed things up quite a bit. The first one's right here, and then I turn around and leave. And then I get to take the other path. So I'm going to head over here into this little tunnel. No need to mind the weird noise.
Whoa, slice-o-matic.
Whoa, slice-o-matic. Can you guess what happens next? I leave. mean, obviously, there's no death at the Slice-O-Matic. Nothing at all. And then we freeze to death. Nah, messing with you. We're going into the Slice-O-Matic.
Slice-O-Matic. Whoa, Slice-O-Matic.
Now, I get to walk into this hallway here. And this hallway has a weird noise in it. Can you guess what the weird noise does? It kills you. There's absolutely no reason that it kills you, and the game doesn't tell you why it kills you, but it does. And that was the room of random noise death. Okay, now I go back to this checkpoint that I got earlier. Oh, a guard. And he's dead. Don't need to die to the guard. Actually, most deaths to guards are not necessary for this category because there's nothing particularly unique about them. You just get shot and fall over. And the whole idea of the category is just to get the deaths that are really unique. But here we've got a little door puzzle. And if you're disappointed that I didn't die to the guard, you're in luck. Come on. There we go. Nope, not that one. That one. Alright, now let's actually solve it. And we're in. Alright, next door puzzle. Whoops. It's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I just have to get through this door again. And we're in. I'm just gonna run on down this hallway and no. I don't know why that death is in slow motion. But now this room is the first instance of some good old-fashioned RNG, where if I get a bad pattern from these guards, I'm just dead.
Yikes.
Okay. That wasn't too bad. Alright, so now I get to do a little bit of running. Normally the game expects you to kind of go into all of the doors and explore, and go through the computers, watch the video logs, and the incredible facial animations that you see in those video logs. Which, you should definitely check those out if you haven't seen them before. They are quite something. But since I already know where to go and what to do, those aren't really necessary. I'm also going to die to this guard,
Also be related to the weapon's newfound
who somehow sees me through the wall and also shoots me through the wall.
which seems to also be related to the weapon's newfound sentience. In conclusion, it would appear that at this stage of research, the potential of the Cyberia weapon is virtually limitless. However, the fundamental lack of boundaries this potential brings makes this project extremely difficult to control. But even if we can't find a way to control and harness this entity, then surely the spin-off technologies from our research will have justified the time and costs required for this project. Thank you.
Arnold, get a progress report.
Right.
Nice, now I need to kill this guy. Unfortunately, he always dodges the first shot, even though he's not supposed to know I'm there. Just got a sixth sense about that, I guess. And that's a really bad guard to die to, because then you have to watch that whole cutscene again. Now I need to go on down to the end of this hallway, and go into a computer that is password protected. And normally when you're going through all the computer logs and things for all the other computers in this place, it would give you clues about what the password for this computer is. Luckily, it's not randomized whatsoever, and I just know what it is. It's good old Einstein. And I don't actually have to do anything in that computer, I just have to access it and then leave. I'm just gonna go for a casual jog down this hallway. Oh man. Oh, I didn't make it. Alright, so now I get to try and not die to this, which is not as easy as it seems. Especially when I am mashing the button to shoot and he doesn't shoot right away. I really hate this part. Like you can hear me hitting the button, right? And he's just not shooting. Because to get through this, you have to shoot just immediately. There we go. Alright. And we're good. Alright, so all of this running around I've done in here so far, the only reason I've done any of it is to kill every single guard in this place. Because when I try to go down to the other floor, there's a door that normally would have a guard blocking it and immediately kill you if you try to go through it. And apparently the only way to get rid of that one guard is to kill every single guard on this upper floor. So now, I get to run on back towards where I first came into the facility. But now I go this way. So this is the room that's actually on the far side of the room of random noise death that I died in earlier. I'm over here and I'm just going to push this box because, I mean, obviously you're supposed to push this box. And then this wall is actually a door, because clearly that wall is actually a door, and this is clearly the world's safest elevator. Alright, so there we go. No guard there. I can go on through. Oh no, I've been caught.
Halon system activated.
Alright. Now I don't have to die to this guard anymore. But I do have to sneak past him. Hey, we did it. Stealth section complete. Now I have to kill him. Or else he'll pop out from the store when I try to go by and he'll shoot me in the back.
Any word on the explosion?
Yeah, beautiful, huh?
Who the hell?
Got him. Okay. Now we're coming up to the last section of RNG in the entire game. It's also the worst one. We'll see how it goes. So these two guards, when they stand up, which one of them stands up, if they shoot, and how many times they shoot are all random. So ideally, I want them both to duck behind the crate. Then I can take aim at one of them. Hope that the one I'm aiming at is the first one to stand up. Okay. Got there. Alright, so we're past the last bit of RNG in the run. Everything should be pretty smooth from here on out. So what I need to do now is I need a key card to get into a room at the end of the hall where those guards were. So I have to solve the puzzle here in order to get the key card. Right, open the vents, we did it, we solved the puzzle. Except how do we get to the key card? Which I'm sure everybody saw the key card in that room, just kind of hanging out in the back. Totally obvious that it's there. So I'm gonna go on back through here. Don't need to worry about that guard, because we already shot him. Go on back into the red elevator room, and knock down this fence, because, I mean, obviously we're supposed to knock down this fence. So we're just walking down this hall for a while. And hey look, the key card.
Gotcha. Uh-huh.
Alright, so now I need to get back out of here. Head on back down the hallway to where I shot those guards. Yep, still nobody there. Alright, and now that I've got the key card, I can get into this room.
Access approved.
And the reason I go back for the key card after killing those guards is because you don't get a checkpoint until you're actually in this room. So if I had gone to get the key card and then gone towards this room and died to those guards, I would have had to do the whole running around to get the key card all over again. Now I'm just gonna head on up this way. Go through these gray rooms. And we're gonna get to the Charlie sequence.
Interlock closed.
You know, it's funny. I haven't died in a while.
Contaminated area. Viral infection hazard.
Viral infection hazard. That doesn't sound good. Well, I guess we're okay. Oh, no. Oh, he's dead. Alright, now I need to deal with that viral infection hazard. I get this sequence here where I am shooting bits of the virus. Because apparently that's how you create a cure, is by looking in a microscope and shooting lasers at it. Man, is this what doctors do all day? This is fun. This is also another sequence where the difficulty that you select has an effect on how you do. You can't die here, but you need to kill a certain percentage of the virus in order for the cure that you're making to be effective. And on easy, I think it's anything over 70%, maybe it's only 60. Then medium is, I think 70 or 75. And then on hard, I think it's 90. But other than that, nothing about this actually changes. So even on the hardest difficulty, that would have passed. That's all I need here. I just need to remember that it's cure number 6.
Interlock opened. Interlock closed. Warning, entering contaminated area. Viral infection hazard.
Alright, so in here is where we inoculate ourselves against the virus. And look at him go. Hacking skills put to work. And we're cured.
Host contamination eliminated.
Just like that. That's all it takes. Good to go. Alright, so now get to head on through this door and towards the end of the game. Oh my. Well, that can't be good for you. Alright, not doing that again. We're going to go over here. I'm going to use the robot. The totally safe robot. Nothing can go wrong except I can shoot my foot off. Alright. I'm going to use the robot safely. Alright, not shooting my foot off this time. Alright, so now I gotta kill all these things or else they'll kill me. Oh no, I missed. Alright, last one for a little while. Okay. So, to talk a little bit about this part, which is the Charlie sequence, you have that blue meter across the bottom of the screen, and that is the total power that this little floating robot has. If that runs out, I die. And it constantly drains over time as it's flying. Also, shooting my gun will cause it to drain, or using the area of effect blast will drain quite a bit of it. So I have to kill every single enemy here, or else I die. And I have to do it accurately, so that I don't burn through all my power. Alright, so far so good. A few trickier spots in the narrow hallways, because some of them fly past you really quick. Like that one. And that one. Most of them, they give you a decent amount of time to actually see where they are and shoot at them, but some of them go by so quick. Another nice feature of this game is that a lot of enemies don't actually have hitboxes until the yellow highlight appears around them. So even if you can see them and you know where they are ahead of time, you can't actually kill them until that box appears. Alright, almost at the end of the Charlie sequence. Just a few more. Alright, that was the last one. So the Charlie sequence is complete. And there's really not much left to the game. And now I can go through the store without dying. Hooray! Alright, one last puzzle, and I actually get to use one of my blade functions, which is the MRI scan. And I need to do that because I have a visual cue that I use for solving this puzzle. As you can see, kind of these horizontal lines on this part, I need to get them all to line up with the pipe in the middle at the same time. And all of them fall at different rates. There we go.
What the hell is this thing?
What is your form?
You speak?
Self-unit communicates, speaks with form. What is your form?
My form is human.
Yes, human. But what is form identification?
Oh, my name. I am Zach. Who are you?
Self-unit scientists project.
That's a hell of a name. Can you see me? Visual?
Self-unit sees Zach body. Zach body sees self-unit.
there?
Yeah, I read you.
You made it, eh? I knew you were the right man for the job.
Devlin, this weapon, it's unbelievable. It's sentient.
Really? It's too bad then.
What?
That it's only going to be sentient for about another minute.
What are you talking about?
You got it backwards, Zach. That thing isn't the weapon. You are. Adios, pal.
Detect radio activation. Micronic thermonuclear device in Zach body. Device detonation threshold in 60-second time units.
Son of a bitch.
Zach body. Device detonation will cease all life functions.
We're both gonna die.
Zach body lives. Query. Self-unit lives?
You're more alive than most of the people I know.
Sick burn.
Query. Zach body can survive if merged with self-unit. Device detonation threshold in 30-second time units. Zach body will survive if merged with self.
So, there's a bomb in my head. It's gonna go off in about another, not quite 20 seconds. How about that? Wow. Alright, and that is the last unique death of the game. Now I just need to finish the game. Unfortunately, the last checkpoint is before that last door puzzle I had to solve. So I have to do that again. There we go. Alright, also the unfortunate thing is we get to watch this cutscene again. But the plot twist is already ruined. Ruined! All over.
What is your form?
You speak?
Self-unit communicates, speaks with form. What is your form?
My form is human.
Yes, human. But what is form identification?
Oh, my name. I am Zach. Who are you?
Self-unit scientists project.
That's a hell of a name. Can you see me? Visual?
Self-unit sees Zach body. Zach body sees self-unit.
Zach, you there?
Yeah, I read you.
You made it, eh? I knew you were the right man for the job.
Devlin, this weapon, it's unbelievable. It's sentient.
Really? It's too bad then.
What?
That it's only going to be sentient for about another minute.
What are you talking about?
You got it backwards, Zach. That thing isn't the weapon. You are.
Yeah, Zach and his 10-pack abs. Making me feel inadequate over here. Come on, man. His flesh-colored, skin-tight bodysuit. What a guy.
Son of a bitch.
Zach body, device detonation will cease all life functions.
We're both gonna die.
Zach body lives. Query, self-unit lives?
You're more alive than most of the people I know.
Query, Zach body can survive if merged with self-unit. Device detonation threshold in 30-second time units. Zach body will survive if merged with self.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and not have my head explode this time. Instead, I'm going to merge my body with this thing we just found and then launch myself into space out of a volcano, as one does.
What is this?
Death. Life.
Where are you?
With you. With me.
Devlin?
Must be terminated.
How?
We can do it.
Together.
Scanning for location of last Devlin communication.
Yeah, so we've got one last on-rails sequence here. Again, about the only thing I can do with it is do my best not to die. The unfortunate thing with this one is that it doesn't actually show you how much health you have, so you have no idea if you're about to die. You just kind of have to shoot everything you can, and that's about it.
Accelerated approach. Collision course. It's receiving us now, Mr. Devlin.
Well, well. The best laid plans, eh? Just what the hell are you now, Zach?
Shockwave. Force and magnitude growing.
Defense systems up. Launch the swarm. Scramble all interceptors. Kill it.
Alright, here we go. Last sequence of the game. Another thing about this section is it's one where I have totally unlimited ammo, so I can just hold down the fire button the entire time. And this is not off to a great start because I've taken a lot of hits. Okay, doing alright. Another thing that makes this section a bit harder than the others is that a lot of these enemies actually take more than one hit to kill. You actually have to shoot them for a little while before they die. Whereas most of the other sections like this, they die just in one shot right away. Alright, I'm past the worst part, so we should be good. Time's coming up fairly soon. It's when the there's a giant explosion on the screen, you can't miss it. Alright. Okay, second now. And time. The aiming in this is in this part is with mouse. Alright, so there we go. We killed the bad guy. We kind of ignored the girl. I'm gonna fall to earth and credits. Yeah, that was Cyberia. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope it was an experience. I don't know if it was a good experience or a bad one, but yeah. There you go. That is the game.